nataka mujue kwamba katika kila uongozi mujue kwamba kuna dhoruba, there will be challenges, there will be a lot of critics. Mtu asiwadanganye kwamba mtakuwa criticized. Even KOT, sisi tuko hapa, kesho I'll be your biggest critic. Unaona? So you have to brace yourself for that. That is why politics is a dirty game. So you know, you don't have, ukiwa Waswahili wanasema kwamba ukiavulia lazima uyaoge. Kwa hivyo hii mshavulia, wote tushavulia, lazima tuoge. Another point ambao nataka kusema na KOT, manake Morara yuko hapo, utastand kama Morara, alafu maybe you will pass those notes na nani hapo Wanyama. Ni I think nani pia jaribu Morara and all of us that we are here, please, in as much as we are all in the movement and we support Morara and the team, but let us not dwell much on personalities. Unaona kama Morara alikuwa amekuja vizuri, anatuuliza 2027 is far, lakini ukiangalia almost 2 hours tunaongea tu, tunasema oh Morara this, Morara that. Now imekuwa kwamba we have lost focus, we are now dancing on the tune of personalities. Please, let's stay away from personalities. It is about the movement, it is about the country. Country is bigger than Morara, is bigger than KOT, bigger than Fabish, bigger than Wanyama, bigger than nothing. Even in the absence of Morara, we still have a country. So, nafikiri ni lazima tukuje na solution.
All I'm saying is that I just want to wish you all luck. I am watching very closely mambo ya Inject Party, and somebody articulated it very, very well. Akasema kuna Inject Party, kuna ile ya Ekuru, kuna ile ya nani ya Okiya Mtata. I support Inject and Okiya. Ekuru, not too much. I've interfaced with him in Liberia. I wasn't quite impressed. He has some air of arrogance and entitlement. But be that as it may, Morara is doing very well. Mimi naombea kila laheri, muendelee vivyo hivyo, na mtapigwa vita na watu wengi, but stand steadfast. Kaa ngumu. Kama ni kufundraise, continue to fundraise, but account. You know, for me who lives in the US, I think transparency and accountability is very important. You must account for every nickel and dime and shilling that you get. Hiyo ndio ina build confidence in people. I yield my mic by saying, alisema kuwa he gets very angry. He's a young man. He's allowed to, and he's a human. Lakini when he gets angry, don't use the platform kututangazia, because people just want to know where you are. Ukisema unakwenda vacation, wanasema unakwenda vacation ama holiday, na sisi huku tunakusubiri to be led by you. So some of those things probably keep them off the public. If you folks can tell him about that, I yield my mic, and thank you very much. And I think you're all doing a commendable job. Thank you.
There's this saying that by John Maxwell, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. We have this tendency of celebrating people who want leadership positions and massaging them and applying oil on them, and they become so soft, and it becomes a problem to us. It comes and bites us. I've said this several times in spaces, that we need to be very selfish in selecting people we want to take up leadership positions. There are some traits that scare me off when it comes to selecting leadership. I wanted to be very categorical in this. I have heard people, when we were having the other space, I think it was the Kenyan lady, you are trying to tell us not to talk about Morara and things like that. We need to talk about them. If he has decided that he wants to take up leadership, he needs to communicate in a certain way. I have problem, first of all, with the communication of Morara. And I think one speaker had also talked about that. If you want to be a leader, I don't think it is right for you to come and tell us that, you know what, you work on your thing, let me work on mine, I will consolidate you later. That is not a leader for me, and I have reservations with that. Number two, I have issues with when a leader says someone who wants to be a leader, I will not call you a leader. Someone who wants to be a leader, when this person says that, you know what, you guys contributed money for me, but those who want their money back, I want to give you back your money. Our constitution wants accountability. If you want to come to leaders, you must be accountable. Even when I give you just 1 shilling and the total collection becomes 30 million, I want accountability for my 1 shilling. That should sink. And these are some of the traits that we see and we ignore. Then later on, they come and bite us. There are traits that we need to remove. Even you, KOT, you want to become a leader. There are traits that you also need to desist from. You cannot be a leader and unajua we KOT unaita Ruto Sugoi Butcher. Out wakikuita mall. You are not a mall, but that is just hizo ni terms ziko huko. Don't delete X and delete yourself. Become strong, bana. We don't want Serelak leadership.
Hey, Real Joe, ngoja kwanza.
Yes. Real Joe, your time is up.
No.
I don't want anyone coming for KOT.
Okay, thank you so much, Wanyama. I'll try to be very brief, like a cock on a hen as usual. Okay, I totally want to agree with the Real Joe, because the Real Joe amanza conversation and most of us don't want to hear. You see, when you want to become a leader, you should be ready to be critiqued. And from my understanding, what Real Joe alisema, because he had the very same point yenye alikuwa anataka kusema. KOT, you guys, you asked for politics. So what these people are giving you, they're giving you politics. We are here to play politics. Na tukianza kulialia saizi, then I'm worried. Ikifika karibu time election, where even some people, you guys, you know what is politics. Muliona vile MORARA alifanywa pale Bomas. Because that is politics. And it's very sad that that's our Kenyan politics. So just to summarize what Real Joe said, but I'll say it in a different language. KOT, once you tell people that you're a politician, kuna mtu anasemanga, a politician must have a goon, and a politician without a goon is a goon by himself. When I say about having goons, simaanisha ati to cause violence or anything, it's for your own protection. Kama MORARA pia angeenda pale hivyo na kuwe na watu wenye misuli tinginya, ama wale watu wenyeonekana wezi tishiwa, I think everything will be okay. So what I want to tell you is, let us be realists. Let us be grounded in reality. Hii ni siasa. We are no longer discussing mambo at we are so conservative, sijui nini. Because at the end of the day, ni wote umia. You'll tell us you don't like sijui utaki kwa zote with goons or anything. Utenda mali utapigwa na utaumia KOT. So what Real Joe is trying to say, you guys asked for politics. Then you should give politics. Stop crying here, KOT. Mtu akikutoe ni mall, even if you are not, please stop crying on the TL kuanzia asubuhi hadi jioni. We lose the conversation. Saizi tangu tuanze imekotol about KOT is not a mall, KOT is not a mall. And as someone who has been in politics for long, I can tell you that is nonsense. If we wanted politics, let us play politics. Tuache kulialia. My next point. I totally disagree with Kenyan lady. There's something she said. Asioni mtu anattack MORARA. MORARA, what are you telling us? Do you guys know what you call a supreme leader? A supreme leader, kama huyo Kim Jong-un, they can't be critiqued. Hata ukimwambia something amefanya wrong, people will start attacking you. Personally, I'm really ready to be attacked. Kwa kusema hii. MORARA communication yake is not a communication of a politician. It is a communication of kind of a dictator, and I change on that. When you post something, I have done this, I have done this. That is not a language. Alikuwa hapa nilikuwa nataka kumwambia the very same statement. The reason I'm saying this is because if I ask you guys right now, take your minds back exactly 3 years ago. I want to view Ruto 3 years back. Ulikuwa unakuja kwa Twitter unasema Ruto ni butcher. People will attack you because they believe Ruto is right. And Ruto is always right. And any person who tries to critique Ruto is wrong. If we cannot accept this conversation, Kama mwezi kubali to critique Morara, then you guys you're not playing politics. Yenye munataka. The conversation will form inject, we formed the Inject party. But every time, let us support more. It's just Morara this, Morara this. What if we go to 2027? Personally, I'm always a prophet of doom. Morara ende kwa ballot. Morara lose as a president. Because all of us say everything is about Morara Kebaso. He loses. What happened next is another season of pain and agony to us. So Mimi, there's something you want to say here. Let us not make this about a person. Because they say once beaten, twice shy. We made it all about Ruto. Wakati alikuwa anapigana na Uhuru. You couldn't attack Ruto. He was a supreme leader. I quote that. What is happening right now? He's trying to be a supreme leader that we made him be. Like, any decision he makes, he feels that's the right decision. The same way, mnataka kuambia Morara, everything, tell us to go this way, tell us to go this way. You guys, I'm telling you the truth. I'm a prophet of doom. I'm ready to be attacked. But I can tell you, we made that mistake with Ruto. 99% of people want to support Ruto. And you believe this guy is a savior. You believe he's a very different kind of a politician. But hatukukuwa na backup plan. We involve everyone. So Kenyataka kuambia, if you want this to be a good politics, if you want to have good leadership, let us accept to be critiqued. And stop telling people, don't critique this person. Because it's only through critiquing someone that you can know someone, how someone behaves. Because I can tell you, it's too early to believe in someone. We are like 3 months old in this movement. 3 months is not enough to say to share Minimutu is a good person, everything. Apana, we are learning from each other. And the only thing I'll insist, if you guys, we formed a political party, our political party, aina members, our political party, inahitaji a lot of things to be done. Wanyama asked, what next? We are not working what next for Morara, but what next for us as a people. And the only thing that identified us as a people or as a group is that political party. So, anything unasema hapa, let it be about Inject political party. And that way will move forward vizuri.
I was just saying the roster. It's Declan. After Declan is Joshua and then Lynn. And please, 3 minutes exactly.
Thanks, guys. Nice to see us back together again. The whole team, the usual speakers. I think I've learned a bit in the previous in the past events that have gone on in the past week. And I'd like to come back again and speak on structure in the movement. We are at war, and something you can observe in every single army in the world, there are pillars, there's traits that are common in whichever army, whichever language they speak, whichever corner of the earth they're on. There's certain things that are in every army. People must be disciplined in the movement. Another thing that is important in any army is unity and loyalty. People must be unified and people must be loyal. People must have integrity and people must have respect. Those are things that are inside every army. Zenye hazikosangi. And I think those are the things that we need to emulate inside this movement. Are you loyal to this movement? Do you respect, do the actions you take respect this movement and what we're trying to achieve? Do you have integrity in the things you do when you're not here talking on the space, or when nobody is looking? Are you carrying high levels of integrity in the movement? Are you pushing unity and loyalty in the movement? Because those are things that are important. That structure needs to be there. We can't lie to ourselves anymore that there can be disorganization. And it is very true Our guy Morara is not perfect. And and the reason why I'm bringing him up is because in the argument that's been around him in the past few days, the biggest issue I had with people going against him is because it seemed like he was bringing in some kind of structure. And I was fearful that if we lose him, we will lose that structure. But then I was also made to realize through the conversations that I had with people that it cannot be that he is the structure, and then if there's no him, there's no structure. Guys, we have to build a structure that works, a system that works for this movement. And it does not have to be an individual. I've been fighting people, and then I just realized, guys, I'm fighting people not because I'm scared of losing Morara. It is because I'm scared of losing the structure that I can see he has built or he's trying to build. It's not that structure is there. So as we go forward, let us have a structure that, one, gives us a direction. Two, it evaluates the work we are doing. Is what we are doing correct? If we build that structure and we're disciplined and we are loyal and we are unified to that structure, we will move. But if we are not, then we'll just keep going round and round and round and round and we'll start losing. Asanteni sana. Wacha niachie hapo.
Asante sana Declan, na asante kuinject na kuleta nguvu kama hiyo, lakini itabidi nikushukishe. Joshua Okayo, twende kazi.
Wanyama, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I am happy to be back on Spaces. It's been a while tangu nikwe kwa Space. Thank you, Chaotic. Thank you, Wanyama and Nothing KE for hosting and co-hosting respectively. Wanyama ulisema we should move on from this mall thing, but I think it's important I mentioned something about it. Actually, history ya mall watu wana shout. I've even seen someone saying on TikTok at Imindio Mall. On Saturday, I'm the one who called team members and told them we have a mall. And that was before even that communication by MORARA. And because not everyone could point out some of the things that are pointing to someone being a mole. And I had seen them, so I raised the issue. And we had a very urgent call. Nani, KOT, there's something you want to say? Okay. Sawa. Yeah, so I want to say I am the one who identified the mole, and the mole is not KOT. I think that is solved now. And if anyone wants to confirm, go and ask MORARA. I have worked with KOT. I think we've done a bit of de-launch tours, 3 or 2 of them now. I can't remember exactly. And I can say he's genuine. And now that he's here, you are genuine. But I hope you keep that to the very end and you keep true to the cause. I also want to recognize my friend and former classmate at University of Nairobi Law School who spoke before me, MM Esquire. If you look at your screen, it's MM Esquire, Mike Matanga. That was my classmate and my very good friend from way back from first year. I love how Mike and the real Joe spoke, and of course how Declan has also spoken, and even Farouk. I really wanted to hear what the real Joe had to say next, but sijui mbona alinyamazishwa, but I think I really wanted to hear what he had to add on to what he had already said, because he was speaking very serious matters. I know there are some of us who've come out that we want to probably be at the forefront or in a way lead the movement, but that does not give someone rights to be entitled or to feel like now everything is around them, or everything should be, the world should be rotating around, or rather revolving around them. I keep and I've kept talking about this. I've kept saying we have a movement that can only win if it remains a movement. Of course, we know everything is going to be turned into political structure, political party. And I've seen Declan talk about your structure so much. He so much desires a structure that he fears that should we lose someone who has made effort in bringing a structure, then we shall be losing that structure. I can tell you for a fact, Declan, even if right now I went down, or if Morara went down, or KOT went down, or Wanyama went down, we are going to have structure, because I have been able to have conversations with so many people in these spaces. By the way, Wanyama was to call you. I will call you. I think I'll call you tomorrow. My week has been quite busy. But I can tell you I've had conversations with these people. These people have very great plans for the movement. Just that sometimes everyone takes their time to start something, or people's timings are very different. So if I decided that I'm starting, say, tomorrow to do a certain program or project that I've so much, longed to do, that doesn't mean that now that is the only thing to be done. Maybe Wanyama had another program, or maybe Declan had another program that they are supposed to start, say, on Monday or in another 1 month. That is also going to add onto the movement. So I want to say that it's important. It's very, very important that we celebrate people who are trying to make effort in keeping the movement alive and in bringing people together to strengthen the movement. But we should also be very keen to notice certain things that would probably lead to the death or the fall of a movement. So, number one, I would advise that let us not make this feel like we are making the movement to be around one person or a certain people. Let everyone contribute what they can to the movement. And I continue saying this even in our meetings, that let not this look like it's about a person. Let this be a movement. It is way better as a movement. It is way better as a team. And we can easily win that way than when we are looking at one person to be able to make decisions, or to be able to make to decide for us to now follow through. I know at the very end we must have a leader. We will. And again, maybe we already have leaders, but let us not make this look like we have only one particular person that should make certain decision before all of us now start doing the same. Another thing, I cannot be in every space. KOT, Kenyan Voice, Musioka cannot be in every space, and they cannot do everything. Morara cannot do everything and anything. If you see that someone is focusing on one thing and there is another sector of civic education that is missing, please pick it up. Do the much you can. Do the much you can. I can tell you, if all of us were to come together, and because one thing I realized is that we have very, 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 very many talents that we might lose in effort because we want people to be together. If we all are together, it means tukienda mahali pamoja, we shall be visiting that one place, all of us. And if it is a speech to be delivered, all of us will be speaking about almost the same thing at the same place. But if we had 10 different people in this group going to 10 different places with 10 different groups, they would deliver 10 different ideas to 10 different groups of people or 10 different regions in Kenya. And they would probably, if it's about visiting projects or uncompleted projects or stalled projects, they will visit 10 different projects. You can imagine what I'm talking about. Basically, what I'm saying... Well, yeah. So what I'm saying is this. Let everyone do the much they can in whichever space they are in. But even as that is being done, let us form structures. And I can tell you, we are working on structures. And anyone who wants to be part of developing of such structures, you are very, very much welcome. Just that I know people have been shouting along, X, these spaces of X and all, and saying, you guys need to work together. Can you call so and so? Let me tell you, calling them can just do so much. It is upon someone has a conviction that they really want to deliver through that which you're doing, or through that channel, or through that structure, that you can convince them to work within that structure. Otherwise, you trying to look for people, some of them will tell you, mbona unanitafuta, ama watu wengine watajiona sukari. You understand? I know there are people whom we've tried to reach out to. Na wanajiona sukari, they're like, kumbe I'm that important. You understand? As in human nature. At the same time, unapata reach out in very like clean heart, just in high spirits. Oh yeah, come, we do this because I can see you are doing very great in this sector. Can you come? We see how we can marry this together to do something together. But then mtu atakupeleka round and round and round. So some of these things we don't actually expose, that we have invited some people. But if we were to expose, or if I were to expose the people that I've probably reached out to, you would be surprised. Kumbe, it's not that we don't want to work with other people. It's just that, look, kuna watu bado hawako ready ku fit into a structure. Finally, I know nilipewa 3 minutes. Finally, we have a lot to do. And we don't have time for banters and sideshows. We have a lot to do. We don't have time for banters and sideshows. If you feel someone is not doing something right or in the best way as you could, let them know. Advise, just advise. But you should not be so entitled that someone must do something the way you want it to be done. Because again, we are different. So I believe we must go back to the streets. I know that's crazy, but yes, we must go back to the streets. Because we have, bana tuko na vitu zinafanyika, mimi leo nimekasirika sana. Actually, I was recording some video, but nikaitwa to do something else that I didn't complete. But yes, nimekasirika sana that Ketrako now has signed a deal with Adani. That means basically Wandai and Ruto are trying to tell us that we cannot maintain our own energy sector or electricity sector. Very soon utasikia pia ile kesi ya JKIA imeisha na Adani inaenda. JKIA inaenda. Utasikia hata Mombasa Port of Mombasa inaenda. And you are here wondering what is happening. These things are happening because we are busy fighting each other. We are busy discussing Gachagua impeachment, which does not even concern us. That is a political game those guys are playing. It doesn't concern us in any way. Let them fight. Let them do their things. But let us not get so much into the agenda that we forget that there is a bigger war we should be fighting. And the bigger war is to protect our industries, to protect our to protect our country, basically, and to protect our people. We have a bigger war to fight. And all of us should be part of that war. All of us should, in one way or another, contribute to that war. It doesn't matter. If you can't be on the ground, by then, Mimi, I don't blame you. If you can come to contribute on X, because hapa kwa X ama kwa TikTok, sometimes we get ideas that we are going to use on the ground for those of us who are able to get to the ground. Not everyone can get to the ground, but there comes a time that at least we will, sacrifice 1 or 2 days in a week to get to the ground. We must go back to the streets. And I would encourage wale watu wanatengenezanga posters and all. Let us start coalescing and let us start, agitating for something in that line. I believe ile pressure tuliweka watu in June. If we continue with that pressure, hatutaona hizi ujinga ndogo zenye tunaona saa hizi. Things are just happening before your eyes. It's like someone is telling you, bana, mini president, what will you do? There's nothing you can do. I don't want us to be helpless citizens. We can't be helpless. And it pains so much when it feels like you are helpless. It pains so much. Guys, thank you so much for listening to me, and thank you for always turning up to these spaces to contribute to conversations that are growing Kenya. God bless you.